Good morning, guys, from day 8 in St. John's, Antigua. And you guys may be about to see what it looks like for someone to miss an excursion that they purchased, not through the ship, and I'll tell you why. It is now 9:11, and I am watching our screen. So here, look, let me turn it around so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So there's a screen here, and it shows you where you are. Like you can see the path that the ship's gone. But here in a second, it's going to pull up and it's going to show where the ship is in real time from a bridge camera. And we are pulling in at 9:11. So we're still docking. If you look closely, you'll see we're turning. The ship is rotating right now. My excursion is supposed to start. We're supposed to meet there at 10 till 10. But on the app, it now says the gangway is not going down. I'm going to flip it back around. So on the app, it says the gangway is not going down until 10 o'clock, which means that the excursion should be leaving when our gangway goes down. Now, originally it had said 9:30 was gangway down. So, long story short, I've communicated with the tour operator. I haven't heard back yet, just to let them know. I'm sure they know this kind of stuff. I can't imagine I'm the only person on the ship that has booked this excursion. It's possible, but nonetheless, we're going to see what happens. Hopefully gangway goes down at 9:30. It's kind of be cutting it close because they have to like clear customs and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. So you'll know. It is potentially going to be a very different kind of day than I'm anticipating. But let's all cross our fingers that everything works out. And if not, I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to have a good day. So let's get this day started. Day 8, St. John's, Antigua. Let's go. So this is where we will get off. It's the stairs at the front of the ship, and you can see the gangway sign is up, but the rope is still up, which means it's not quite time to get off yet. So it's now 9:20. If we get off at 9:30, we'll be lucky. Fingers crossed. Also, don't be like me. Don't come down to the gangway and stand right outside the stairs where the ropes are, waiting for the thing to get off, because that's annoying to the crew. So don't do that. Don't be me.
Well, as you can see, folks, I'm off the ship and I'm on the boat, and we made it. But that is a good view of the ship right behind us. So we made it. The stress is over. I hauled off the ship to get over here. Oop, I'm gonna have to mute that one. But yes, we are here. Gonna enjoy the day. I was like the first one out because I was too nervous. I hate being late, y'all. I hate being late. No good. We have made our first stop. It is a place called Jumbie Bay. So we're gonna chill here. They give us some juice, some homemade tropical punch with like lime and passion fruit and different stuff like that. So we're gonna hang out here, have some juice, and then I think we move on to the next spot. We've got a bunch of stops on this trip. So we have settled in between two islands out here, and we went to Hell's Gate. You saw that. How cool was Hell's Gate, huh? So now we are anchored and are going to have some lunch, some delicious lunchtime food. I have no idea what the food is, but we're going to check out some food, and then we go to another couple spots to do some snorkeling before we head back to the ship. This is a pretty long excursion. Lots of different spots to see. Have gotten it cleaned up and freshened up after the excursion today. We are in the evening mode. We are hanging out right now at the world-class bar. We're going to do a little bit of a classy night. So I had to come by to the super fancy world-class bar, get a super fancy drink, and then after that tonight we have the tasting menu at Le Voyage, which is one of it's a Daniel Baloud restaurant, but on a celebrity ship. So it's a second specialty meal. Earlier on in the week we had Eden, and this evening we're going to do the tasting menu at Le Voyage. But let's do a real quick recap of the excursion and just talk about the pros and cons. I really think the only con, and this is being fussy, and it's not a guarantee of a thing that's really going to happen. There wasn't a ton of fish at the swimmings. Only fussy thing that I can say. That happens though. You can't control it. But everything else, I loved the boat. Went super fast, super fun. Another great crew experience. They took great care of us. Let me get the drone up, so I got some fun drone shots of the ship and going through Hell's Gate. How cool was that, right? And funny thing about that, or interesting thing, it was very windy today. Gusty. 25-mile-an-hour winds, but that drone, that Mini Four Pro, held up like a pro. Did a great job, so we got a fun shot going through Hell's Gate here in Antigua. Overall, I would still say I recommend, the food on the excursion. The barbecue chicken, super yummy. Pasta was good. Not a super complicated meal, but one of the things that I love about doing excursions like that, especially when they're providing the food and not stopping and giving you food somewhere else, is it kind of feels like you're having the local food experience. So I guess the other thing that I'll say is it was good that it was so close to where the ship was, because I was able to run off the ship, get over there and get on the excursion. I didn't have to worry about traveling far because, you guys saw we were a little worried about getting there on time. And I realized after kind of sort of talking with people that my stress wasn't really missing the excursion. My stress was being late. I'm not a person that loves to be late. So I was worried about other people having to wait on me that were already ready to go. Anyway, there's our little wrap up. We'll check back in at dinner time. We're going to enjoy some drinks, hang out at the world-class bar, and then we'll get back to you guys at dinner. Okay, so we are checked in at Le Voyage, and here's how dinner's gonna go tonight, guys. So there's two choices. There's a tasting menu choice, and there is an a la carte menu choice. The a la carte menu, I mean, you can kind of, I'm sure that it's going to be a lot like Eden where you can pick and they'll just keep bringing you a bunch of stuff. I kind of wish, if I'm honest, that I had maybe chosen that, because I think I probably could have gotten more bang for the buck out of the dinner, but I saw a tasting menu and I saw Daniel Baloud, so I just kind of checked in and registered for the tasting menu. I still think it's going to be delicious. I've also chosen to go with a wine pairing because the sommelier that's in here, I met on the first day at the boarding day lunch in the like the French brasserie type restaurant that we had lunch at. And you saw like the baguette and stuff like that. I think technically the wine pairing menu is like pre-chosen actually by Daniel Baloud and like the chef of the restaurant and stuff. But he's gonna tell me all about the wines and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that would be a fun experience to add to the tasting menu experience tonight. So we're gonna taste some food. I think it's gonna be a really good menu. And guess what? If it's not enough food, we're gonna go have some chicken wings later, because the chicken wings at Craft Social are quite good. But for now, we're gonna do some tasting menu at Le Voyage and see some pretty foods. Folks, I am stuffed. Oh, so good, so good. So we are about to walk through one of the coolest art installations on this ship. It's gonna get dark and you guys are gonna walk with me. But I wanna tell you about how good dinner was. So the star of the night to me was two things. One, lobster risotto. The lobster risotto, hey, how cool is this art installation, by the way? The lobster risotto was delicious. Hi, guys. Hi. So good. It had these cherry tomatoes or some sort of tomato. Pop of acid, super good. But the other star of the night, surprising for me, was the wine pairing. I had some really interesting, really good, delicious wines. So long story short, I highly recommend this restaurant. Eden still wins. Eden, definitely the best bite of the trip, best bites of the trip. But the experience, the service, the tasting menu, the wine pairing at Le Voyage was incredible. All right. Oh, it's smoky in here. So I'm headed to Eden. I'm in Eden, actually, to snag a spot for the evening show. So we're gonna try and grab a spot and we'll check in a little bit.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I have a good time, having a good time.
Well, folks, we are up here back on the pool deck. To my left here, we are standing almost right on top of one of my favorite light kind of art installations of the ship. It kind of looks like there's like spikes sticking out of my head, but from the other end of the ship, this is stunningly beautiful. And I thought, hey, maybe we'll do a fine outro for tonight in front of the spiky lights. So we are doing some spiky lights. Let's wrap up today. Eden, incredible facility once again. My tip is get there early. I got there 45 minutes early. I went there straight after dinner. It was already packed out. I'll say it like this, and if this is offensive, you guys can let me know in the comments. Cruising tends to be a relatively high proportion of the older folks, seniors, maybe we call them. And as you guys know, they like to eat early, they like to show up to places early. So this was no exception. So I don't know what time you would have to get there to get a good seat. But by the time I got there, I got what I thought was going to be a good seat. However, if I'm fussy but honest, as a critique, where I sat, there were servers walking by. So I won't say it was disruptive to the show, but it definitely didn't add to the show. But I will say the singers and the performance, again, incredible. Overall, fantastic day. Great dinner. Great dinner. Le Voyage was fantastic. A good excursion. It was a good day. I am tuckered out from 2 days of having a reasonable amount of swimming activity, and I don't do a ton of swimming, so I am ready for a sleep-in sea day. So tomorrow I'm going to sleep in a little bit and not set my alarm and enjoy the pitch blackness of the cave dungeon on the 3rd floor. And then I'm going to get up. I have a couple of kind of special events that go back to the loyalty status that I don't like to talk about because it's kind of obnoxious. But we're going to do that. But for now, it is good night, and we will see you next week in the next episode.